All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you taking the opportunity and the time to join us. Very excited to have everyone here today. My name is Will Hankey. My company is called Window Treatment Marketing Pros. And today we're talking all about taking control of your online reputation. So let's jump in. So a couple things that we're going to cover today: why you can have all the best tools in the world in order to kind of generate those online reviews, but you're still having a tough time actually getting those reviews. That's definitely a big one. A lot of companies struggle just trying to get the reviews in the first place. A big, very difficult piece. So how to tap into the power of multi-channel communication. In other words, other things that you can do besides just asking the client for a review. A lot of times that's just an email sequence or something like that. But how to use a couple different ways of going about it in order to get those reviews. We'll talk about the fact that it's really a team sport and that you need to get everybody on board, really meaning you need to get your install team involved in the process of this if you want the most reviews and the fastest way to get those. And why you really need to respond to every single review that does come in, very important. And how you can have kind of all of this taken care of for you through some of these different tools that are out there, so that you can spend your time working on your business. Obviously, a little bit about me real quickly. My name is Will Hankey. Again, my business is called Window Treatment Marketing Pros. I published a book called Triple Your Window Treatment and Awning Leads. If you don't have a copy of this book, I'll make sure to explain at the end how I can get one of these into your hands absolutely free. We're the SEO blog top rated agency 3 years in a row now. We are Google partners, and we're a veteran owned, family owned business as well. I do have some free stuff, including a link to the book at the end. And I want to make this interactive. So if there are questions that you have as I'm going through this, please feel free to use the chat function in the Zoom area here. And I'll watch that. I'll make sure to answer any questions there. You can also just unmute yourself and just ask the question. That's fine as well. I want to make sure that I'm getting all the questions answered for you. And before we move on to something else and then you forget what your question was. So please make sure to answer those questions in the chat area. If somebody could just put in a note there that you're able to hear me, I would appreciate that. And then, of course, that you can see the Q&A screen currently. Can somebody let me know that you can hear me and see that screen? I would appreciate it. All right, nobody's replying. That means I guess you guys can't hear or see me. Let's see who we got here. Christine, Dan, any of you able to hear me?
I can hear you fine, Will. I just don't see where the little button is for chat.
Oh, okay, Dan. Fair enough. It should be down there. Yeah, it should be down there at the bottom. Hi, Christine. Are you able to hear me, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. And do you see the Q&A screen as well?
Yeah. Oh, I see the 3 little dots and it says chat, meeting settings, background effects.
There you go. Okay. All right. And then on your screen, you see the big QA, right?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. We're working. We're cooking with gas, as they say. So good. Thank you. All right. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So let's jump in. So as you may know, all of the things that we do, we've kind of built out what we call the digital dominance method. And there are 12 pieces to a successful online presence for a business. Obviously, there's a ton of things that you can do. In this case, we're talking about number 3, which is the reputation marketing, reputation management. So obviously, a lot of other things. Now, all of these things I talk about throughout the year, and everybody has access to past presentations that I've done at wtmarketingpros.com/training. You can see all of the past seminars that I've done as well there. So today we're talking about number 3 around the reputation marketing. So why should we really worry about your online reputation in the first place? Well, there's a couple reasons. Online reviews and reputation can make or break your company. Quite honestly, it is one of the first things that people look at. Online reputation, maybe it doesn't reflect the quality of service that you provide right now. You know that you do a really great job, but you just can't seem to get all those reviews to come in. Maybe you've tried some of these different tools and they're just not helping or not really driving a ton of reviews to your business. That could be possible as well. There's all kinds of things.
Yes.
And obviously, as time goes on, it drags you down, wastes time that you could be working on your business instead of worrying about these small things. So lots of different reasons why, it doesn't always work great. But here's really the opportunity that's involved is be the provider of choice in your service area and stand out from the competition. Listen, if you have 50 reviews and your closest competitor has 10, you're kind of an obvious choice when it comes to people deciding who to call. So having those reviews, hugely important, and it really does show you as the provider of choice in your area. Now, there are ways to leverage these tools to really drive that consistent and high quality of reviews. So you don't really want a ton of four-star reviews, right? Those are great, but really you want 5-star reviews, right? That's kind of the best scenario. So having some tools in place that can help you get there will really help your business overall. And at the end of the day, it does just this. It has your business or your reputation kind of speak for itself. You don't have to tell everybody how great you are. They already know because they can see all the different reviews that people have left for your business. So at the end of the day, be the go-to window treatment and awning company in your area. Rank accordingly. So rank especially in what we call the Google 3-pack or the snack pack, and maximize your conversions. Now, a lot of this, as I mentioned, is really related to that 3-pack of results. Right now, what we're seeing with all of our window treatment clients across the country, 60 to 70% of their leads are coming from that 3-pack of results. The map with the 3 pins, if you're in that particular area in a Google search, you're going to get a ton of leads just from being in that, or more leads than any other way of doing business. So it's very important that those reviews are strong and that you show up in that 3-pack. It's driving a lot of leads for our clients. So do these online reviews matter? Well, I think that's pretty obvious that yes, 84% of people trust online reviews as much as they do a personal recommendation. And 77% of consumers think that reviews more than 3 months old aren't relevant. So that really speaks to the consistency of it, consistently getting new reviews. Can you imagine something you installed 3 months ago? It doesn't count if somebody leaves you a review. And it's just crazy. It's not like it's outdated or anything like that. But having those consistent reviews, very important. It also shows that your business is active online, right? If you have your last review is from 2019, obviously people are not going to take that into consideration. So definitely important to have those. And as I mentioned with the Google 3-pack, reviews are one of the 3 things that really helps you start to rank in that 3-pack. The other one obviously is geographic proximity to where they're searching. So you need to be somewhat close to the area that they're searching for your service. And then how optimized your website is from an SEO perspective. What other signals are you sending to Google about your business? So I do teach an entire class just on the Google business profile, and I'll show you how to get to that later on. But this is a big piece of that. So yes, obviously reviews are what we would call mission critical. They are going to drive people to you. They're going to impact your rankings. 88% of consumers look at reviews, as we said. It's a major conversion factor. So it is definitely part of a person's decision process when they're deciding what business to call or do business with. So why is controlling and managing your online reviews critical to your business. We've got 5 key principles that I want to kind of go through today. Thank you to all the people that have jumped on recently. If you do have any questions, put them into the chat. I want to make sure I answer your questions, and we'll keep going forward here. So number 1, obviously I've kind of mentioned this already, provide a world-class customer experience. That's on you, right? You have to do a great job at install. You have to wow the customer, and most business owners know this. Obviously, you have to have that in place by default, right? Number 2, build some sort of an online or reputation management system into your culture. So teach your installers that they are basically going to get a review, or even ask for reviews, and build it into the culture so that every time there's some sort of an engagement with a customer, whether it's somebody answering the phone or it's at time of install, any of those situations, or in the home at the appointment, you're always kind of susceptible to getting that review, and definitely have to have that, top of mind for your entire culture. Number 3, show off the reviews you have. If you have got a decent amount of good ones, make sure you're showing those off. Share those great reviews on the social networks. Have them on your website somewhere and use them as factors for, trust factors for decision processes. Definitely want to make sure that you're showing off the ones that you have. Leverage some sort of tools to help you ask for those reviews, and leverage those across different platforms. So not just sending out an email after the install is complete, but maybe sending a text message while you're standing there in the living room, or drop a voicemail on their phone. There's a lot of different ways to go about making sure that you're leveraging the tools that are involved around this. And then number 5, acknowledge and respond to every review. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. So which of these can you work on? There's a lot of things that you could work on, or are there any in particular that stick out that you should be working on in particular? Think about that. What's one thing that we can do to kind of start leveraging towards getting more of these reviews, whether that's build it into your culture, or just get the good ones on your website so that people can see those and trust your business a little bit more. Probably the biggest one here that people don't do is acknowledge and respond. When you do get a positive review, a lot of business owners don't take the time to go in and respond to that. If you do, you're ahead of the curve. People really love to see that someone left a review and the owner or the business, responded to that, even if it's just a thank you note of some sort. So this is how it looks in the Google business profile. This is a company called Naka's Drapery, 5 stars, 11 reviews. Got to get that number higher. Obviously, there's a lot of ways to do that. So what is a good strategy that we can do to start getting more consistent reviews? Well, we're going to talk about some of these. So obviously leverage the tools to request a review after each service call, or after the install, or possibly even after the original appointment. Let us know how our designer was, while she visited your home, or something like that would be great. Leave a printed review card. We'll show you a couple of those in a minute here. Train your installers to kind of plant that seed. We're going to talk a little bit about some ways that they can do that. Obviously, make a call after the service to ask the customer, what did they think about your service, and then build this into the culture. Use some sort of a tool to really consistently reach out to them. A lot of clients don't, you don't drive off the driveway and they go straight to leave you a review. Well, they might, if it's a negative review, they tend to be a little quicker to make those. But the positive reviews, sometimes they need some encouraging over time. So one thing we do for our clients is every client that signs up with us, we create a business card for them. And this review card really just goes to their install team if they have a specific team. And it's very simple. There's not a lot to it. Logo on one side. On the other side, it's, will you mind leaving us a review, with a QR code. Most people are very familiar with QR codes now. And these are great items to use right inside the home, right at the time that you're finished with the install. Hey, Mr. Smith, what do you think about the new Roman shades? Wow, I really love them. Hey, would you mind shooting us a review? Our business really, thrives on these kinds of reviews. So building some sort of a business card is a great way to do it, and getting your installers to hand these out at the time of install is great. There are plenty of tools out there that you can use to kind of automate the process. There's the first one here is Lead Boomerang. That's the tool that all of our clients use, but there are others out there. Podium is another popular one as well. But basically having some sort of tool that does multiple things, not just sends an email after the fact, but they have a way that the customer could text or receive a text and leave a review right there on their phone. There's a lot of these different tools that are out there. Of course, like I said, our clients use Lead Boomerang. They get a dashboard here of how many reviews that they've received over a certain amount of time, how that reputation is looking, get a list of all the different review requests that you've made and whether they've answered those, whether they're still sending those. And by the way that we do this from an email standpoint is 3 email requests over 10 days. So each of those is, we'll say 4 days apart, 5 days apart, something like that. Initial request, 5 days later, another one, 5 days later, another one. And the reason we do that is because one of those is probably going to be on a weekend where they might be more possible or more potential for them to leave a review because they have a little bit more downtime. And it just hits them at different times during the day. But there's also text messaging. And in our case, we even drop voicemails on the client's phone asking them for a review. The other thing that happens with the automations inside Lead Boomerang is if a client clicks on a link to leave a review, they're automatically taken out of that sequence so that we're not asking them 2 days later to leave us a review when they already did. That kind of aggravates customers. So we want to make sure that we're not doing that either. You can get a list of all the reviews that you've had. In the case of Lead Boomerang, you can actually respond to those reviews right inside the system. And, just a simple thank you or something is great. There's an easy way to just thank them. You don't want to just say thanks. You want to be a little bit more personal, but just something along those lines is great. One thing you can do in the home is if you see a phone and everybody's carrying their phone, right? One thing that you can have your installers do is just say, oh, hey, Mr. Smith, is that a iPhone or an Android? And people love talking about their phones. Oh, this is the new Android S23, whatever. Oh, that's great. Would you mind if I just sent you a text message right now? Or would you take this business card and shoot the QR code and leave us a review? Great, super easy, low barrier, low friction way to start that conversation and get them to leave that review. Obviously, that would need to be done near the end of the install, but a great way to start that conversation. I don't know what it is, but people sure do like talking about their phones. So here's an example of a text message that might go out. You can see there's some variables in here, obviously, that each client would get. But hey, would you mind leave us a review? Click here. They click that. It just goes straight to the 5 stars, and they can just click the 5 stars. It asks for them to put in a little comment, and they're done. It's super easy, super easy way to do it. Obviously, show off your reviews. Have them on your site. I would caution you, in some cases, it's not the best to have a place where people can leave a review on your website. So sometimes I'll see people have a button in their email. We'll actually talk about this in a minute. There is a downside to that, where if you make it really easy for people to leave reviews, unfortunately, there are idiots out there that maybe didn't even do business with you, just for some reason want to leave a negative review. That can be an issue. So definitely want to show off your reviews, but be a little careful about giving people easy access to leave reviews for your business. Make sure that that's going out to customers only. So how to respond to every review. First of all, have something in place that alerts you when there is a new review. Get somebody on your team to make sure they respond to those reviews, and then kind of formulate a strategy around dealing with negative reviews. Typically for me, what we tend to tell people is write up a response, don't send it, wait 24 hours, and then go back and kind of look at it. So give yourself a really good cooling off period before you respond to that negative review. And along those lines, if it is derogatory, abusive, any of those kinds of things, then you just flag that to Google and they'll take it off, right? If it has those kinds of things in there, they'll take that review off. You don't have to do anything. But if it's a legit negative review and you screwed up, obviously try to fix the situation. Respond to them. Hey, Mrs. Smith, we'd really like to come out and make this right. If we make it right, would you mind changing your review from a 1-star to a 5, something like that might be good. But definitely formulate some sort of a strategy around those negative reviews. So I don't know if you guys have heard of ChatGPT. So this is the new AI. Everybody's talking about AI and all the really cool things that it can do. One really cool thing that it can do, can you guys see my screen where it says ChatGPT? Are you guys able to see that? I want to make sure that you're able to see that before I go any further.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So one thing you can use AI for is to kind of help give you ideas, positive or negative, on ways to leave reviews. So write me a review response to a negative review where we hit the customer's car. Let's say they complained that when you were backing out, you hit their car, something like that. There are really cool things you can do with the Chat GPT and these different AI systems that they can actually help you build some sort of response. Maybe I don't know if there it goes. So this is just total AI. I'm not typing anything. And if nothing else, it gives you, if you have heard any of my presentations before, I always talk about the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. It gets you 80% of the way done right off the bat, right? So then you can just copy and take this and then tweak it to make it sound more like it's something that you said. But it's a great way to really kind of shortcut. What am I going to say? Especially when it's a negative review or something not so positive happened. This is really a great way to do it. So just wanted to show you the Chat GPT thing. It's pretty crazy that it can just kind of pound out something 100% robot made, I guess you could say, but pretty cool. So anyway, wanted to show you that. That's a great use of the AI tool. So, all right. So make sure you're responding to every review. Now, if you're not using a tool like Lead Boomerang to respond, in Google Business Profile, there's always a reply button. So that's all you have to do is just go to google.com/business. Over on the left is a button for reviews. And you can click there and click the reply button and leave a reply. Again, if it's a negative review, probably wait a little bit of time before leaving that review. But make sure that you are leaving those for every single one, and more than just a sentence, or more than just a thank you, I should say. Make sure that it's a little bit more personal. Here's an example. It's just thank you. We appreciate your kind words. I hope it looks great, right? Something like that is pretty easy. You could create a review us page on your site. So I kind of warned you about this earlier, but it is something you could do. You could actually have a button on your site that says, click here to leave us a review. Again, this might not work in your favor in some cases because there are people out there that are just jerks And even though they didn't do business with you, they just want to leave a 1-star review because they can. So don't know if that's the best idea. For some of our clients, instead of just sending one text message to leave a Google review, some of our clients do pages like this, where there's multiple decisions that or there's multiple platforms that the client could leave a review on. Not everybody has a Google profile, and not everybody knows how to leave a review on Google. So this situation gives them a couple options: Google, Yahoo, Facebook, and Houzz. One of those they probably are using. So, oh yeah, I'm on Facebook all the time. So they can click there and leave the review on Facebook. So it makes it easier for your clients. Instead of just giving them one option, take it or leave it. A page like this can give them multiple ways of you still get a review, but they're more comfortable because they're on a specific platform that they use often. As I mentioned, you can also leave it in your email signature at the end of an email, something like this: how did we do? Click the stars. This could, again, leave you susceptible to some people that are not as happy with you leaving a 1-star. So be a little careful with that, though. At the end of the day, make sure that you're always tracking these reviews and that you're getting them on time and that you're responding to them accordingly. So obviously, provide a world-class customer experience. That's on you. Build some sort of online reputation management into your culture so that everybody knows at the end of the day, we're servicing this client because we want their house to look great, but we also want that positive review because that is going to then drive more new customers to us. Show off the reviews you have, leverage some sort of tool and multiple platforms to do this, and then make sure you respond to all of those reviews as well. We've had some new people jump on. If you do have any questions along the way, please feel free to use the chat, and I will make sure to answer all of those questions. Excuse me. All right, so all those things we talked about, obviously it's a lot of work. There's a lot of moving parts. As I mentioned, this really is just one step in the customer's journey. In this case, typically at the end, at install, this is when the review piece really comes into focus. However, the fact that that is where it typically tends to happen, it's actually influencing the very first step, or the awareness stage, of people wondering who you are, looking at you, and then considering you, the consideration stage, considering your business as one of the options. This is where it's really important. Again, if you have 50 reviews and your closest competitor has 10, it kind of looks like you're the big dog in the area. Even if you're not, you just have a really great review request system in place. This is number 3 in the digital dominance method that we talk about every month. You can check out all of our other training at wtmarketingpros.com/training. I put out all of my workshops here throughout the year. You can go back and review the older workshops that we've done as well. You can check out all of those on our website, of course. And, if there's something that you're specifically interested in, then there's probably some training on it. Next month, we're going to be talking about creating a content and social media machine and how to really take advantage of that. This is what we do just for window treatment and awning companies. We are Google partners, managing millions of dollars worth of Google ads in ad spend across the U.S. We do have clients across the U.S. and would love an opportunity to chat with you if you have some time or want to learn a little bit more about how we could help you. wtmarketingpros.com/strategy is where you would go to set up an appointment, get a time on my calendar. So, all right. Are there any questions, or who has questions around the reputation management, anything that we went through today? And then I want to get you guys a couple freebies. But let's answer any questions you might have. You can put those in the chat. You can unmute yourself if you just want to talk and ask the question. But I want to make sure everybody is clear and has everything answered. Anyone? Did I do such a great job that everything was answered? No, I know that's probably not the case. All right. I don't see any questions coming in, so let's press on to the freebies. If you do have any questions, please reach out to me, grab a time on my schedule, and I'd be happy to do that. So first of all, the book, Triple Your Window Treatment and Awning Leads. If you don't have a copy of the book, let me get one in the mail to you today, wtmarketingpros.com/book. I'll need your mailing address, but I've got a stack of them here ready to be shipped. So wtmarketingpros.com/book. That's a great place to start if you want to learn more about how to do all the digital marketing, where to start, what all the different things mean. Dan says, yep, for Google reviews, the customer must have a Google account. Absolutely correct, which is why maybe that other situation is sometimes better, where you give them a couple different options as well. So, all right, keywords. I think we've got the top 81 keywords in the industry, absolutely free. You don't have to opt in for anything. Just go to this page and download wtmarketingpros.com/keywords, and we'll drop that right into your inbox. Super easy. That way, what are the things that are the most important, or what are people typing in to potentially find my business. And then we've got a free SEO report. This is really cool, and it's very in-depth. wtmarketingpros.com/report, search for your business, and then it will give you a judgment. I don't know what other word to use, whether it's poor, it's good, it's great, different areas that you can focus on, things that you can fix, who you're up against. And, if it comes back and it looks like, you're up against people that are not your competitors, then that tells you that Google is not getting the right kind of signals about what your business is in the first place. So that report is great and super, super in depth, and again, absolutely free on our website. Google My Business is on there, social channels. It does go through the reputation piece as well. So again, thank you so much for joining today. Hope you learned something about reputation management, learned something about how to get more reviews. If you do want to chat with me, here's a QR code, or just go to wtmarketingpros.com/strategy. Grab a time on my calendar. Would love to learn just what you're up to, what you're trying to achieve, what kind of numbers you're wanting to do this year, and see if it's something that we can help you with. Would love that opportunity as well. So listen, thanks everybody. Next month, Creating a Content and Social Media Machine. We'll be sending out a link to the replay for this, and a link to sign up for next month's workshop as well. Take care, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic day.